Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you for joining me here. What have I got to say about today? Well, but the reason I wrote Divine Divide and You in Becoming Divine is because we really are on the precipice of being in the embracing and embodiment of our full divinity, and we are about to leap the great divide, and we are feeling the greater divide. We're feeling a greater divide between ourself and ourself. We're feeling a greater, and I'll explain that, and we're feeling a greater divide between ourself and others. Excuse me. And so it can be a bit lonely. It can be bringing feelings of that, of wondering maybe, did you get it right? Did you get it wrong? Are you in the right place? Are you doing the right thing? And a lot of what I've written today is an explanation of that. So hello Sally, and hello Charlotte, and hello Dawn, and hello Amanda, and Sweet Cece, and Anna. So welcome. So here we are on the precipice of ending February, and yet if you hadn't realised, we have another day in February because we're in a leap year. So tomorrow we are moving into the 29th, and so this is this this kind of stretching, if you like, of the codes of February. But it's like to me it feels like it's this leap day. It's this day where we can have the experience of launching off, the experience of claiming ourselves to a higher extent, to a greater extent. Oh, it's chilly down where you are in Ashburton. Hi, Jackie. Oh, so for me today has been one of those days where time has disappeared, and time has really disappeared for many of us, hasn't it? So let me find where I'm at here. I think that I might have already. I don't know, I lost track of time. So I'm here. Let me just give me a moment. Oh, well, I wanted to. I'll just start with a couple of things in my old notebook. So I'm now filling up one of these notebooks, 100 pages a month. So I began this on the 11th of January, and I began my new journal today. But in here, there's something that I wanted to say which moves me really deeply in my emotional body, which I don't think that I have spoken to you about. And it's this. So I know I said, or maybe I didn't, the divine masculines, they are very close to the 0 point. Yes, I did. I did say that. I spoke about the bath plug, remember? But I want to say this, as the masculine reclaims himself, because this is where the masculine are at. They are really in the movement of exploration of their emotional body. And it's streaming, it's flowing, it's beautiful. And many of them are in extreme searching, I want to say. So they're searching self, there's pain in their hearts, their physical bodies are giving them internal kicks up the butt, really. They're being stretched and pushed by what's going on in their emotional body, and their hearts. Some of them are in a lot of pain in their hearts, but this is what I wrote. As the masculine reclaims himself, his power, his Christos, his kingship, the feminine is able to surrender more deeply into being the receiver and the creator. The two are able to each align with one's own true, authentic self. No covers required, no compensating. God, source, consciousness. Who are you and why are you here? I imagine that many of you are digging deeper with that because it's like the deeper final run on this inquiry. So I wrote these things. Take them or leave them. Why do you live there? Where do you live in your body and why do you live there? So yesterday I wrote the waters of consciousness are rising along with the tempers of many because I feel that this may be happening for you also. It's definitely happening to the collective. And really, it's good for us to have an understanding of what's happening for the collective because we are holding space for them. We are holding love for them. And it's possible that we may get the rotten fruit thrown at us. So along with the tempers of many, as the anger stored within erupts to the surface for release. This is just a part of the process. Allow the frequency you carry to be the driver for moving people in and out of your life or house or space. A frequency mismatch may feel very uncomfortable. And so a lot of what I have written today is an explanation for some of that and how you might be feeling. And then this came as a bit of poetry. Allow these waters to flush through you and around, going deeper, getting clearer, washing motion, toxic potion, light infusion, some confusion, sunken dreams, arise and seen, gifts and veils, success and fails, bliss codes, smiling, senses crying, let it flow, move and go. As you are lighter, peace, not fighter, dance and dream in sights unseen of self, deliver, senses quiver, knights in armor, love the charmer, new earths gating, union waiting, building time, it's building time, creation rhyme, soul group forming, mission dawning. So many of you will be feeling that, you know, there might be little sort of bells going, alarms going, a bit of consternation, maybe some remembering of other times and spaces and dreams that you've had that are reminding you and maybe putting you into, excuse me, I'll just straighten this up. Yes, it looks straight from here, but it doesn't look straight on the camera. That annoys me. Okay, that'll do. Let me see here. That's better. I need to try and remember to adjust that beforehand. My apologies. So, a lot of heat in the body for me today, and maybe you're having that also. So, I want to say that as you integrate these, no, I need to move that. This is in my new book. Okay. Yeah. So you might have heard me say the other day that I heard this call from the ethers a few days ago that said, "Darling, you are becoming divine." And so this is kind of the intro, if you like, to this. A lot of movement being felt by the awakened ones. A recent influx. So this is just really for us. So it's 6:45 here now. But for us in New Zealand, this happened overnight. So we are, well, let's just say in the last 24 hours, a recent influx of extremely high dimensional light has come into the Earth's energetic field. And this is creating oscillation in the energy fields as calibration takes place. So this might be why I have got this light coating of sweat on my body. It's certainly, that's just started in the last maybe half an hour, but I've had a lot of heat in my internal body today. That's, to me, for me and my system, that's transmutation. So this oscillation in the energy fields as calibration takes place, that's where I feel we are at after that big influx that's come in. It's created like a resting point, even it's created chaos. It's kind of doing a lot of things. It's created chaos in the energy field of the earth. It's new, it's higher, it's faster, it's more insistent frequency, and we haven't yet got it, but we're feeling the effects of it. So it can be causing feelings of wobble and instability. So how many of you here are feeling that today? A bit of wobble and a bit of instability. Thank you, Charlotte. Oh gosh. Fronting up here sometimes is a challenge. Oh, thank you, Rael. It's lovely to have you all here. Okay. So this in the physical body may be being exhibited in nauseousness, in dizziness, in a feeling as though you're spinning, maybe in your head, maybe in your belly, and maybe in your sacral. And also it could be causing unease in the solar plexus. So it's quite a lot of spaces really, but it's this big influx. Consider this is the metaphor. So that when you are asking yourself questions like, why do I feel like I don't belong? If you're feeling like, oh my God. So some of the songs that have been coming up, who does that? I've got to get out of this place. That's a song that came up, a song that came up in relation to the divine masculine today, in terms of, they're on the edge of leaving, was Mick Jagger's I Ain't Got No Satisfaction. And there was another song that came, oh, maybe Anna will remember it. I think her and I might have talked about it. And who else is here? Hello, Sandy. Hello, Fiona. Oh, wobbling all over the place. Someone had to say it, Sally. Nausea in your solar plexus, Sally. Okay. So we might do a bit of collective energy work in a moment. So this old holds both the lower and the higher and more density, and you aren't holding so much of that, but it is like you might be dipping in and out of it, so you're feeling it. So just consider, this is the analogy, you're jumping over railway tracks, left to right, left to right. The left is the lower dimensional, the more dense, the lower frequency, and the right is the higher. The higher frequency, the more light, the greater illumination. And so in a way, this is what we are doing, as we are adjusting to the higher frequencies. It's like this left to right. So this analogy is so you can, maybe it will help have an understanding. So on the left is the old world as well, and on the right is the new. The old holds a lower vibration and more density. The new holds a higher vibration, frequency, and light. The new, the higher, the right side, is illuminating, and density, any density, sorry, that is ready to be released. And it's strong now, this illumination, and it's deep, it's piercing, like we spoke about a couple of days ago. So it is, and you may be feeling the effects of the deepest trauma, the oldest wounding and trauma from your body. It's dense, it's solid, and it's being prepared to be released by this energy that's come in now. So this is in any of the cellular layers of your physical body, any shadow aspects. That's what I've been shown, and may also be an accumulation from other lifetimes and time periods. This experience of your embodiment as it continues, this may incorporate a lot of processes of release and of purification, and a recognition of new gifts and new skills, or to a higher level coming up as a result. You're up leveling those. So you might be having all sorts of experiences around that, but I'm not saying it's totally absolute, but my understanding is that it's likely that the gift that is the strongest gets an upgrade first, and then it rolls into the others. So you might think about what are the gifts that you've already recognized and just attune to that. So think, new analogy, think spinning top, and now think of like a toy that's a spinning top, and now think of it being wet and it's spinning, and this represents a molecule in your body. So this is happening to all of the molecules, to each of your molecules, to each of the molecules in our bodies and in our world and our planet. And this is a representation of the process of purification in each of your molecules. So multiply that by however many cells are in your body, and I don't know how many that is. But I believe it's millions. So envisage each of these spinning in a clockwise direction. But you know the oxymoron about that, don't you? So if you are looking at a plate sitting in front of you on a table in front of you, so it's below your eyes and it's spinning clockwise. Okay, envisage that. I'm just going to show you this, but because I go into the inner earth, this is something that I've noticed, which I think is humorous. And now imagine that plate is still spinning, and now you're putting it on a plate. You're putting it on a stick, and you're rising it up above your eye level, and it's still spinning. Okay, so from underneath it, is it still spinning in a clockwise direction? It's hard to tell, isn't it? Because we tend to see things spinning in front of us. So it's just that little analogy. But imagine that we've had anti-clockwise spin and clockwise spin in the time that I've been working with Gaia. I've watched both of those come in and leave, and then change. I mean, clockwise to anti-clockwise to clockwise as we've been reset. So that's the planet as well, the planetary spin. Ages ago, she showed me this kind of overlay of a dimensional field that was in the opposite direction, which was to bring ease to us as we came into the new. So some kind of harmonizing effect. So envisage each of these cells spinning in the same direction. And now you are either looking at somebody else, or you have stepped outside yourself and you are watching yourself. And so now you're seeing yourself represented as a body filled with spinning molecules. Notice that you can hear. So you can hear like a humming sound. You can hear the oscillation. You can see the oscillation. And if you look at yourself split into two, and you look at the right side of the track and the left side of the track, you'll see that on the right side, they're closer together. There's more harmonization going on in the field. And on the left side, there's more wobble, there's more challenge. They still are, some of them are spinning faster and some of them are spinning slower. So they are not working fully as a team in a way. You could see it that way. It's so hard to describe this, but this is what I've come up with, so I hope it's useful. So then think about this you and on the right in this body with these molecules that are spinning, all spinning at the same rate, humming, oscillating in harmony, this beautiful harmonized energetic. And then you in that body, you jump to the left and now you're in the lower. And you have this immediate feeling of wobble as some of them slow down because of the density. So this is what we are experiencing on a maybe moment to moment, maybe a period there and a period there. Maybe every time you step into having a conversation with someone in a lower frequency, you go there. Maybe every time you have a thought that's from the old, you go there. Maybe every time you go out into the community, you go there. So you just be aware that this is what you are doing in your physicality. So the movement on the left is this lower frequency and spin. And this is the effect of you feeling disconnected from yourself because you're here. It's like humming. It's when you are like in that zone where everything is blissful and beautiful and magical and only amazing things are happening to you, for you, around you. And so you're in that space. And so the idea is that you will be spending more and more time in that space and less time on the left side of the track, less time in this more dense situation. But it's when you go back to there that you get into this wobble because you are, adjusting, acclimatizing. So another analogy that I got shown was, imagine a travelator. So those moving footpaths that I don't know whether I'm calling them correctly, but I call those a travelator. So it's a moving footpath. And imagine that you climb onto it from the side. So it's a totally different adjustment, isn't it? You step onto it from the back and you know the movement is going to be forward. You can sort of glide into it. You can slide into it. But what we are doing is we're traveling from left to right of the track, from the higher dimension to the lower, is that we are stepping onto and off something that is traveling at a different speed to where we are at. And so that is another reason why we might be feeling this wobble. It's what we are, though, adjusting to. So just be aware, it's just a new skill. And this is another reason why many of you might be finding, some of you will say, holy moly, I've been doing that for years, but more solo time. So a lot of you might be feeling like that. Let me, I'll need to get out of this place. If it's the last thing I ever do, whoever sings that. Um, a lot of that going on, because it's like you can be more, and even being in control is an old 3D thing, but that's what it feels like, that you can be more in control of what's going on in you and around you when you're on your own. So that's okay. That's okay. Don't beat yourself up about that. Take that time. That time is due to you. If you feel like you need it, then don't beat yourself up about giving it to yourself, because as I think that I have said here, and I certainly have said it to people in person, the most important job that you have at this moment in time, your biggest role in the ascension of the planet, is to take really good care of yourself. Because if you don't, then you will fall over. And if you don't, you can't hold space for the next round, the next group. And if you don't, then, really you're kind of not fulfilling your purpose. So your purpose at the moment is to get your body into the best condition for this movement, this ascension. So be just recognizing that the solo time is gentler. It's gentler on your system. It's gentler on your vibratory system. And yeah, so I also want to say, I wrote here, so this is the energetic background story on why people are moving, why people are shifting locations and jobs and relationships and even aspirations. It's why you have left or why others have left you, because there's this energetic mismatch occurring, and that's part of the push pull for movement. So deep trauma from the past might be arising in the physical being for release and healing. Quite a bit of music has come through, really. So the other piece of music that came through is It's a Whole New World from the Aladdin movie. And so I thought, oh, go, because I haven't seen that, because I might have been to 3 or 4 or maybe 6 movies in the last 5 or 6 years. I don't like them. I don't feel good there. They upset me, and they upset my body. They upset my frequency. And there's just too much energetic that goes on. So I think even in Avatar, I went to watch, I think, the second Avatar. Are there 3? I think I've only seen the first one, and I walked out of the middle of the second one. And the animations, the creativity is incredible, but the energy had me crossing. I sat there with my hands crossed over my heart. And in the end, I decided that I just needed to go. I had to leave. But anyway, this is from the Disney movie, A Whole New World. And I went and looked at the lyrics, because I don't know them. And this is not in order of the lyrics, but these are the lyrics that match the energies and the changes that we're in at the moment. Yeah, feel into these. They're really, really lovely. A Whole New World. When did you, and I want to say, if you are here as a divine masculine, these really are your questions that you are asking yourself. Yeah. When did you last let your heart decide? A new fantastic point of view. an endless diamond sky, a dazzling place, crystal clear from up here, indescribable sights and new horizons to pursue. So to me, this is a really good synopsis of where the divine masculine are at and what they are contemplating. So as me, as the rest of us, integrate these higher frequencies and lights that have come in through it is like they have come into the energetic field, the etheric field of the planet. That's where they are at the moment. But they're so new, they've created a bit of discord. It's like throwing something spiky into a pile of balloons. It's kind of had that impact at the minute anyway. So as you integrate these, you will begin to stabilize in the higher dimension that you currently inhabit on and off. The divine masculine showed up today as like these very tall beings, like meters tall on the earth, fully clothed, wearing mostly blue actually, tones of blue, and they had their hand out. So their right hand was out I'm trying to get my hand in my camera here, like this, outstretched towards their divine feminine. They're very upright. They are facing you, divine feminine, and it's a very physical image. So you might be feeling, and the masculine are, this definite physical impulse and longing in the body from the heart and from the sacral. And for the masculine, this is at a level of creating discomfort in the physical body. So they may be feeling a lot of, or you may be feeling a lot of, it's like pain in the bones, pain in the protection cage of the heart. Yeah. So interestingly, I put this on this morning, and this is fluorite, and I don't very often wear it, just because I'm always doing things with my hands. So even like I'm known as the jewelry queen, honestly, and because I am here at the keyboard, or I might be with clients, and if I put my hands on them, I don't want jewelry in the way. So I have a collection of these, but I don't very often wear this fluorite. And so this is another thing that I noticed. Oh, I've put this on today. Well, let me see what fluorite means beyond what I know. Anyway, this is the definition. So fluorite is for cleansing and purifying the body, for stabilizing energy, to increase the ability to concentrate, and to help one to understand and maintain relationships. So it's such a perfect stone if you've got some, or if you've got a piece of it somewhere. It's a perfect stone to be wearing at this time. Yeah. What else have I got for you? I think that's it really. But let's do some releasing. So let's do that together. So imagine that you are in a space where you can see all of those who are present now and in the infinite moment of now. So those who may come across this shortly or later. And if you're in your own space, feel free to close your eyes. And just notice in your body. Notice your body, first of all, softening. If you can have your feet on the floor, do that. Notice what is going on in your field and around your skin. It's soft. The energy is soft, but it is palpable. So notice that energy kind of bumping around in your field, like being softly brushed by cotton balls. And invite that energy to be soothing on your skin. And now visualize that you're standing in a crystal rain. This crystal rain, it has a diamond formation, and it has it's like a clear masculine quartz with a blue tinge. So it's on the spectrum, it's moving from being clear quartz to a rich, deep sapphire. So that deep sapphire blue. So you can see all of the colours of that in the reflection and refraction of this rain. And this rain is very purifying, very cleansing. And it's doing it with these piercing points at the end of the diamond shape. That's breaking through the old. It's piercing through the layers. It's digging into the deep, the density, the old. So we just invite the body to soften and release. Pardon me. There you go. This sounds disgusting. So I will just explain that. That's me releasing the energies. That's the only time I ever burp is when I'm doing energy work. Oh, and I could feel that coming, but I didn't manage to catch it, sorry. But this might be you. You might tap your thymus here. You can use your fingertips. You can use a heartbeat or a pulse beat. 1, 2, 3 in here. This is the thymus, the higher heart. This is a receptor as well, a messenger, sends messages to the rest of the body. And take a breath and release. Itya nakana shishi to iya na 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 iyara iyara iya ho. Yakushana atakanabatu anayara atakanabata tishiana kanabata patata ba 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 di yatakana i o ana iya iya hey. Take a breath. Iyara na 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 na, iyara na 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 na, iya oa, iya oishana, 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 iya kikiara na kana na na na, Ia hua ia o. Take a breath. You might notice little, I want to call them capsules. They are like a disc. They're like a half a cake. They are like a patty tin. They have that kind of look, as though they've been formed in a patty tin, but they're only maybe a centimetre high. They're showing up like that. They're showing up like that, as though the cells have been, like they've lost these cells that are coming up for release. It's like they've lost their power now. They've lost their hold. They're deflated. They're coming up. That's what I'm seeing. I'm interested. What are you seeing in your own field? So think like a sponge mixture that's cooked, but only a tiny bit of the mixture got put into the case. Kind of looks like that. It's got, I'm saying that because it's that colour. It's kind of golden. Strange analogies, I know. Okay. Yeah, you might even want to do this like you're breaking them up. You can break them up with your fingers, with your hands, just like you could if it was made from a sponge mixture. This just comes to me. This is not something I've seen before, so I'm in the moment as much as you are. It's the magic of this work, I have to say. I just have to find my way with explaining it when it's something I haven't seen before. So that's the easiest way I can explain it. So this is the density arising in that strange form of the half 1 centimetre high sponge cooked cake. You're crumbling it. This is what's ready to go. These are the patterns. These are the programs. This is the deep trauma. This is the toxins and the deep, dark, ancient past. Coming up. I don't think you even need to look at these, you know. I think you just have to crumble them. Ooh, feel free to join in with your own sound at your end. Ooh, it's feeling to me like that's a heart tone. That's where I'm feeling it. Masculine definitely are feeling this in their hearts right now, pain in their hearts. But there's this work on the emotional flow, right? So there's a lot. We're in the consciousness, we're in the flow of consciousness, we're in the expulsion of the old, the dark, the dense. We're in this managing to balance ourselves, and that's why having an understanding of it may help you to make an immediate adjustment, because it might be that when you feel like that, you just take yourself to a space where you know you can instantly come into the higher, or you might just take yourself somewhere quiet and take a breath, tune into yourself, come into the higher, come into balance. This alignment that we are in for so much of the time now. You know, imagine jumping to the right. In fact, that is something you could program yourself to do, is that you could do this exercise of jumping left, feeling into the density, the 3D, jump to the right, feel into the 5D and higher, jump to the left, jump to the right, and then do some mixing and merging and some programming of it, so that it might be that you can just take a little jump to the right and it's embedded. So I think I think that should work. Give it a go. Let me know. I haven't done that, but I will try that. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So I want to say the trauma and the toxic. That is what is coming here now to be released. Pardon me. It's a good indicator. Honestly, as a teenager, I used to hear people burp and I would think, how do they do that? And I couldn't make myself burp even when I wanted to see what it was about. Well, I couldn't do it until I started doing this energy work. Ancestral. There's ancestral stuff coming up as well. Many of you will have come here to heal the ancestral lines. They are big tasks. So many of you will have come into family lineages where there's been a lot of abuse, a lot of physical abuse, a lot of sexual abuse, a lot of narcissistic traits and qualities, a lot of control mechanisms, a lot of very commanding language used. And yeah, this flavor of being constrained, of learning how to navigate in what probably feels very foreign as a child. But a lot of light workers came to do that, to break open, to change, to firstly to see, and secondly to bust through, and thirdly to change. So a lot of us have come in family lineages where that's been a part of our role, our job, to break those down back through time, space, and dimension. And then at the moment, this whole concept of time, space, and dimension is kind of having a merging effect. So that's why it's a bit challenging sometimes to figure out what day it is, what time it is, even is this morning, afternoon, or evening. The sky looks different. There are moments when the sky looks quite surreal. So we're having this experience, in that way as well, of this shifting of dimensional spaces in the physical, real world, real in italics. We're seeing more news being revealed about such things as statistics and data around deaths and arrests, and that is across the population in terms of both vaccinations and other influences in terms of viruses, I guess. I guess they're calling them that still. And then these the reveal of the truth coming up more in the mainstream news, and from the kind of, what I have been terming the backery and wuckery. So there was news about Jacob Rothschild, deceased in the last day or so. Probably it's old news, but anyway, it was released today. So he comes from one of the families that have housed, I guess, and held significant wealth on the planet, in our world. And so his death was announced today or yesterday. So we are, so this is another, this is a biggie. So this is not, in my view, as big as the Queen having passed, but it's getting up there. And if you have noticed, it's like things that many of us have had an awareness of having already happened are now being revealed in the mainstream news. And in New Zealand, today, I think, or yesterday, I don't know, a news hub, I think it's called News Hub. Forgive me, I don't watch television, so I'm not up with the play, but I did, somebody put it on a Telegram thread, but I think it was News Hub. So News Hub is becoming defunct. It is closing its doors or windows or screens or studio or whatever it likes to call itself in June. So all of the employees of that faction or aspect of TV3 have been told that their roles will cease in June. And of course, the mainstream news, the mainstream media has had a big part to play in releasing the thackeray and wackery, the lies and contortions of the truth. So it's a good sign. What else have I got here to share? Let's see here. There's only questions. Are there any questions? Has anyone got something they want to add in or to ask? Okay, so just before we close then, just imagine that you are in a haze of golden light. This is beautiful light that many of you will be able to see. But if you imagine being in a smoky room, like smoke from a really nice crackling fire, and it's catching the light, and it's very golden, it's warm, it's translucent, but it's not well, how can I say that? It's got a translucency, but it also has an opaqueness. So that's what I'm trying to explain. Like steam or smoke, it's a golden haze. That's what some of this light is that's coming in at the moment. So just visualize that you are surrounded with that. And I want to say, take that with you. Place that around you as a bubble of light for you to use as a transporter, I want to say, to assist you in this reconnaissance to your higher. So just remember, you're coming into your divinity. No one ever said it would be easy. No one really told us it was going to be this hard, though. But you're doing magnificently. You really are. And we are very, very close. Those of you who are on the leading edge of the awakening ones, or the leading edge of the awakened, that's more accurate. The leading edge of the awakened. This is where you are at now. So you're really feeling the propulsion of this change in your physical form. And that is why you're noticing the great divide, the divide between you as your human self and you as your divine self in human form. You as your three-dimensional physical being and you coming into this higher light being in physical form as a fifth dimensional and higher ascended being here as Gaian. And so I wish you well on the maintenance of this, and just recognize and acknowledge self. That this is why you're feeling it to this extent, because you are stepping more into your divinity and yet you're still having a physical human experience, which we will continue to do, but the physical human experience will take on a higher frequency. So we're just in the adjustment of that. So much love from me to you, and I wish you well for the rest of the day and the rest of the week. And yeah, thank you. And go gently with yourself, connect unto your brothers and sisters around you from the spiritual faction, and lovingly hold your physical brothers and sisters, your genetic brothers and sisters, your family, because you have the capacity to do that once you've stabilized a little bit more. All right, see you again soon.